Welcome back to MMAOddsBreaker. Jordan Rinaldi today is getting ready to fight. I totally forgot. We're so busy talking about Vegas, I totally forgot who you're fighting. He's fighting Clay Harvison coming up here on Legacy 47, October 16th on Access TV. It's weird because a lot of guys that I interview, and most of the folks at home know that I start a conversation before we actually get into the interview, so part of it's missed because we're not recording it yet. I couldn't for the life of me figure out where I knew Jordan from. I actually know him from Vegas. Yep. When he used to train over One Kicks with Baroni and the Nokajawanis and that whole group. But you're in North Carolina now, right?
Yep, I came home after a 2-year stint there. It was just where I needed to be. I got a lot of improvement out there and everything, but I moved home. I'm getting married in the spring, so it was the time to come back.
Was your girl with you in Vegas, or was your girl still staying in Carolina?
She was in Carolina, and
okay.
I mean, we don't live together or anything still, and that's how I want it to be. So it was a part of that, but it was mostly just being homesick and in the gyms. I wanted to get back to my roots and everything. So
how old are you?
28.
Are you super religious?
I am.
Okay.
Well, I guess you can say super religious, but I'm a Christian and I try to live that way.
Yeah, well, I was going to say at 28 years old and you have an opportunity to live with a hot chick, and you're like, no, I'm not going to live with a hot chick. I'm like, there's only two things that jump in the way. Your mom is in the way, or religion is in the way. It's only two things. So
exactly, and I still live at home, so it's wonderful. I get to live in a free place, and I get to keep my religion first. You know.
You want a roommate? I need a free place to stay too. I actually had a very crass. I also was asking if you're very religious because I had a very crass response for you moving back to Carolina. You know, you basically were moving back for a girl, but it was going to be said a much worse way. But I won't disrespect you that way. So I'm glad I asked first.
and that's definitely something that weighed on my mind, and it was a part of it. And when I'm here in Charlotte, I still have good people to train with, but at the same time, it's not every day that you get to train with the Njokuanis, with Baroni, with Fitch, with Mark, with these guys. But at the same time, an hour and a half away, I get to go down to Stephen Thompson's place and train basically whenever I want. And then there's a lot of good people in North Carolina. People don't know them yet, but they're good. Sorry, I'm shaking.
I actually just talked.
My voice is cracking because I'm freezing.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I just did an ice bath, so it's kind of cold.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. I actually just talked to Stephen Thompson's dad, Ray, like maybe 2 days ago.
Excellent.
And good. I had like a whole list of things I want to talk to him about. And 30 minutes into the interview, I'm like, guys, I got to stop. Like, this is way too long. And I'm not even close to getting done with it, you know? And this is one of the things I'm finding out about North Carolina. There's a lot of really good talent down there that no one, like you said, no one really knows about it.
No one respects us.
It's a little, do you feel like it's not, the promoters should know better. The matchmakers should know better because they're watching tape, they're watching film all the time. But then they still seem to be surprised and they're like, oh, like, Steve Thompson, like, this kid's good. Like, what? I'm like, he's not 19 years old. This kid's 35. He's been around for a while. Like, how do you not know this guy's good? Oh, we just weren't paying attention to Carolina. Like,
yeah, that, and then you have Brunson, who's incredible.
Yeah.
And there's people coming up in the league or in the sport that people don't know about. And I'm excited because, you know, most of the places are the big places that produce, you know, New York, California, Vegas, but there's talent everywhere and the sport's growing and it's going to just have the people from these random places pop up and people are going to say, from North Carolina? Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know anything good comes from there, you know, besides barbecue.
Well, and, you know, in sugar tax when you're surfing, that's the other good thing that comes out. So let's talk about, you know, Clay Harvison. This is a pretty good opponent. You're 10-4. He's 13-6. It's a big fight. It's on national television. You know, yep. This is it's nothing that's new to you. Obviously, you've been on big shows before.
Yep.
But like for me, you had a great training camp in Vegas, and then I'm not saying you don't have a great training camp in Carolina, but it's definitely not the same. You know, how is this fight going to break out? Because now it's a different kind of mindset when you go into these fights.
And that's the thing. When I was in Vegas, I didn't have the moral, I guess you'd say the moral support and the support from family and everything like that. And especially towards the end of my stint in Vegas, the technique was getting better. It was all that stuff was getting better for sure, and the training was great always, but my mind wasn't there. So when I came back, it helped a lot. So the training and me being able to kind of manage my own training more here has helped a lot. So some people say, "Oh, moving back from Vegas, come on, what are you doing? Why would you do this?" But it was a big deal with my mindset and getting better mentally than it was physically.
Now, if we go back, and we're going back years now, in the MMA world, 6 months can be a completely different world to somebody. So
Oh yeah,
we're going to go back and look at like your RFA fights, back in 2012. You win one, lose,
yeah.
then all of a sudden you get dumped out to USFFC, you lose again. It's like, now I'm a 3-fight losing streak,
That
What?
was a tough time too.
When did you finally move back? What date was it that you moved back to Carolina?
So I moved back last October. I think it's almost been a year now.
So
So it was
you fight Joe Elmo in November of 2014.
that was right after I moved back, I believe.
And then you
Yeah.
fight Abakanov, right? In
Yep.
World Series of Fighting in January of 2015. You're on a
In
two-fight winning
Vegas.
streak now since you've been home. So all of a sudden,
Yep.
this is a big deal. Um, I want to go back and look at the Montessori fight, your last loss that was in the RFA back in 2014.
Yep.
What happened in that fight? Because you got TKO'd, or KO'd,
Oh, KO'd
according
bad.
to Milan. So what happens in that fight that all of a sudden now you're jumping into, I got to be honest with you, Sosalan is a much better, tougher competitor than James is. And we're looking at a difference of maybe, 6 months. And all of a sudden you beat a guy like Sosalan, but you lose to James. I'm trying to figure out what happened besides just the move home that made you so much a better competitor.
Well, the thing with the Muntasiri fight is watching that fight, I was actually winning the fight. I was doing well against a striker. I couldn't take him down, and I tried to a few times, but he had great takedown defense. But I was beating him in his own game. So it's not that I was just outclassed or anything. It's just in this game, one bad move will end a fight. And he caught me and he put me away. So I made a bad mistake. He capitalized, and that's what happened. But then the Sosalan, it's just the same person, or I was the same person and fighter. It was just that I didn't get caught. I did my game plan, and I was able to take him down too, and that helped a lot too. So
Okay.
so it's not that the training was different or the mental aspect helped it that much as where I just got caught in that Muntasiri fight, and he was much bigger than me at the time.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was just about to say is a little bit of a size disparity at that point. So
Well, it was frustrating because I had fought his teammate a few months prior, and I lost to him. And then the he was supposed to fight at 155 on that same card, and I was the late replacement. I was
okay.
replaced for that 2 weeks out, and so we were supposed to fight at 55. And he had been training the whole time to make a 55 fight, and then he said, "Oh, I can't make 55. Let's do 160." I said, "Okay, that's fine.
That's right.
Whatever. You have a mental problem that you can't cut that weight." And then the day of the fight, or the day of the weigh-ins, they're like, "He can't weigh, or he can't make 160." I was like, "You were planning on fighting at 55, and you can't make 160 now." And then he comes in at 164 at weigh-ins, not even like hair done, everything nice and clean and all nice, not trying to cut weight, which was a problem with me and my team. We should have made him cut that weight right there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he came in freshly showered, freshly hair done. Whereas when I fought his teammate, I was at the weigh-ins still cutting weight to make the weight. And that's just the professionalism that I think is
Yeah.
super important. And then I don't know. He was much bigger, and he
Well,
was a good striker too.
it becomes lesson learned as well. Like next time someone comes in 4 pounds over, you make them cut the weight, or they're gonna start paying you, 10% for every pound. So all of a sudden
Exactly.
you get 40% more of his, you get 40% of his purse added to your purse because he's coming in so heavy. And that's the way it kind of should be.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I couldn't even believe it because it makes no sense that he couldn't make 55. He's had a whole camp to train. I had 2 weeks to train. And then 2 weeks after that, the UFC called him, of course, and he made 155 in 2 weeks' notice. I'm like, dude, you kind of, or that was our fault that we didn't make him cut that, but it is lesson learned.
So let's talk about the lessons you're going to learn with Harrison. This is a big fight, main event.
Mm-hmm.
At 155, obviously, both of you, the assumption is both of you come in on weight, and there won't be that much of a size disparity as far as weight goes. Mm-hmm. So I know you've seen tape on Clay. I know you've watched some of his videos. Break them down for me real quick.
He starts out very strong, very aggressive, and that's what he is. He's an aggressive striker. He starts to loosen up as the fight goes on, and his cardio is pretty good. Sometimes it's odd watching him really with his cardio. Sometimes he starts out super strong and finishes strong too, but sometimes he starts wearing out towards the second, third round, but you can't count on that all the time. So my job, and I've done it well, is to get in better shape than him. His striking is technically good. He's aggressive, and that's the main things about him is he doesn't let up. He keeps the pressure on constantly. I haven't seen much of him on the ground, just a little bit. He looks proficient there, but nothing crazy good, So that's the breakdown. Decent takedown defense, but nothing mind-blowing. I mean, he's a decent athlete, but he's not a world-class athlete. You know what I mean?
So part of these fights is about the excitement factor too. Like you've got to be able to go out there and make an exciting fight to make more fans want to pay attention to you, to make big companies come back and look at you. So how are you going to make this an exciting fight if he's kind of okay and across the entire board? Like how are you going to make this an exciting fight then for the fans?
Well, the way to make it exciting is to stand there, trade with him, but also to show a well-rounded skill set. And not only if you just stand and bang, yeah, that's exciting, but you also have to put in all aspects to make it a legitimate mixed martial arts fight and have people say, hey, this guy's good all around. He's not just a striker. He's not just a grappler. So it's important to do all of the aspects and to be aggressive. And honestly, I need to get a finish. That's what I need for those bigger companies. And so outstrike him, outgrapple him, do it all, and beat him on every single level.
That's Jordan Rinaldi getting ready to fight Clay Harvison, coming up here on Legacy 47, October 16th. Of course, can be seen on Access TV. Main event. Guys, got to check it in and watch it. Jordan, thanks so much for coming on here and spend some time, especially after an ice bath. I know it's not.
I'm sorry about all the shaking. It's pretty bad.
It's totally fine. It's fine. Thanks so much, man. Have a great rest of your training camp. We'll speak again soon.
All right. I appreciate it, Frank.